Cao Cao rose above his many rival warlords to gain control over the imperial throne. He made great efforts to establish a new regime centered on Shu. In the face of this, Yuan Shao and the other powerful clans could not remain docile, and their ambitions were soon laid bare. Elsewhere, Sun Ce worked with Zhou Yu on a plan to gain independence from Yuan Shu. In their youthful eyes, possibilities seemed to stretch out all the way to the horizon. Although Liu Bei had now allied with the peerless warrior Liu Bu, he fell into doubt, unable to decide on the path he should take. With the entire land facing great uncertainty, its heroes also stood at a crossroads. Chapter 4. Sun Ce rises up in Jiangdong. Liu Bei faces a quandary in Chia-Pei. Cao Cao fights a decisive battle at Guandu.
Allow me to welcome you again.
Hear, hear. You've already done so much to help us. I'm glad you decided to formally join our forces.
Agreed. I just wish we could find more people like you.
On the one hand, you are valuable to us simply for your excellent abilities as a warrior. Yet, your versatility is what makes you special. And so I will not give you any strict orders. You can do as you see fit. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to recruit you if I intended for you to serve me like any other officer. Each of my retainers has unique strengths. It is my job to decide how they may be best utilized. Use your gifts to soar through the battlefield like a Luan.
Dian Wei, don't you think you're working too hard? You'll collapse if you don't take a moment to rest once in a while.
Ha! Don't worry, Shu Chu. I can handle it. Neither of us came from renowned families. So we need to work hard just to prove ourselves. Right, Yue Jin?
Yes. I was a mere record keeper before my promotion. Now I have to keep striving to live up to his lordship's high expectations.
And you're one to talk, Shu Chu. You've been working from dawn until dusk as well.
Well, I've lived in a village my whole life, but now we're trying to cultivate fields across the realm. There's a lot of work to do.
It seems we are all in agreement. I hear that your circumstances are similar to mine. I am new here, and know little of what has passed. I imagine Lord Cao Cao must have recruited you for your particular skills. I thought so. I saw you fight at Hulao Gate and was most impressed. His lordship has an amazing knack for finding talented men like yourself and giving them roles where they can shine. He is not swayed by reputation or accomplishments. He simply assesses each warrior's might, and each strategist's shrewdness.
Yes. If he hadn't taken notice of me, I'd have remained in the infantry. I may never have had a chance to prove myself.
That's why we must work harder than ever. If we let up, we might end up disgracing our lord.
Right. It's going to take a lot of sweat and toil to get to where we want to go. But we owe it to him to throw ourselves into it.
Now, let's discuss what to do about Louis Bu.
He has fled from Puyang, and now seeks shelter under Liu Bei, who in terms of military strength alone, is no real threat to us.
But what's concerning is the growing number of elite warriors who have gathered to serve him out of admiration for his character. While we could have easily dealt with each of them individually, now that so many of them are allied together.
I am of the same opinion. Especially noteworthy are Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, Liu Bei's two fiercest officers.
Then, our aim should be to destroy their unity.
It is Liu Bei himself that binds them all together. He is widely respected as a benevolent man. Most would be honored to serve him. But as we know, Louis Bu is ambitious, perhaps too ambitious to remain in anyone's service for long.
Then, we ought to have Liu Bei sent to eliminate Yuan Shu by imperial decree. If we can force Louis Bu and Liu Bei into a conflict, both will take heavy losses.
Would you elaborate on your reasoning, Lord Shunyu?
We shall take advantage of Liu Bei's virtuous nature. From what I understand, he is not the type to turn down people's requests. If he receives orders from the Emperor, he is certain to comply. And once he leads his forces away, Xiaopei will no longer be adequately defended. Chengong would not miss the opportunity to capture it.
Yuan Shu and Liu Bei are among our biggest threats. If they destroy each other, it would be a big help. Lord Shunyu, you're being surprisingly ruthless. Are we to assume this is all for the sake of a peaceful future?
His lordship has set his sights on conquering the entire realm. If I am to assist him in that goal, I too must be willing to make hard choices.
Lord Shunyu, that is...
I admit I have my own thoughts on the matter, but I will recommend to Lord Cao Cao that an imperial decree be issued.
I see. Liu Bei would certainly become a threat with Louis Bu in his ranks. I will propose to the Emperor that Yuan Shu be hunted down.
Thank you, my lord.
The situation is concerning, even supposing that we manage to take care of Louis Bu and Liu Bei. Yuan Shao battles with Gong Sun San in Yo to the north, and tensions are rising in Jing to the south.
Yuan Shao is the one we should be most wary of. Gong Sun Zan is doing well defending against him, but Yuan Shao now controls most of Hebei, so it is only a matter of time. Yuan Shao will win eventually.
And when he does, his forces will be further bolstered by citizens from Yo province and the remnants of Gong Sun Zan's army. After that, he will set his sights on us. Or to be more precise, on the Emperor in the capital.
So what do? Ally with Gong Sun San and take him on? It'll take a significant amount of our manpower to overturn Gong Sun San's unfavorable odds.
Agreed. And if he were to win, we would end up as enemies before long. I think we should hold back and look for a way to weaken both parties.
Yan Wei, what do you think?
Me? I have nothing to contribute to a discussion on strategy.
If we never bring in new voices to our discussions, our strategies will become predictable. It can be useful to hear candid opinions from someone like you sometimes.
If you put it that way, well, in my opinion, the most important thing in any war is to protect whatever you value the most. I would advise that we stay put and protect the Emperor and the capital. And while Yuan Shao and Gong Sun San are fighting, we can build up our strength.
A sound strategy, as I'd expect from you, Lord Yanwei. I think that may just be the best course of action. At the same time, we need to ensure that we're not dragged into the conflict, for one reason or another.
We ought to eliminate the possibility of Yuan Shao finding some excuse to attack us. One way might be to cede him the rank of Grand General, which His Majesty bestowed on Lord Cao Cao just recently.
That wouldn't be right, surely. Yuan Shao is not worthy of it for one, and it was the Emperor's decision.
An interesting stratagem. His pride will not allow him to attack someone he is indebted to. The rank of Grand General is a mere formality. I have no qualms about giving it up.
Well then, it seems we have decided on our strategy with respect to Louis Bu, Yuan Shu, Liu Bei, Yuan Shao, and Gongsun Zhen.
That leaves one other major matter. What to do about Jing Province. Zhang Ji, who took the city of Nanyang in Jing, has fallen. Now his successor, Zhang Xiu, is in rivalry with Liu Biao.
Liu Biao's forces far outnumber those of Shang Xu, stationed in Wat Castle. I believe we should take Nanyang, an ally with Liu Biao.
Then let us try that. We will face Zhang Xu next. Go and make preparations for battle.
May I have a moment? It is truly fortunate for us to meet again. I must ask your forgiveness for the last time we met, when I simply stole your sage advice and fled. That was nothing short of insolent. For that, I must apologize. After all, it is thanks to you that I am here, serving under Lord Cao Cao's command. Surprisingly so. In fact, he saw the warrior in me and took me in, despite our former opposition. Counting on Lord Cao Cao was the right thing to do. You can see in his eyes that his ambitions do not waver. And I have you to thank for showing me the way. Words cannot express my gratitude. I hope to dedicate myself to this land and to our leader. I shall continue to better myself so that I may help Lord Cao Cao on the way towards his total conquest. Your words mean more than you can imagine. I will say that I am but a newcomer, and still in the midst of training. But if I may, I wish to cherish my friendship with you, as comrades on a path to bettering ourselves. I thank you, and hope for your guidance.
Interesting. To initiate such a plan under those conditions. Your keen insight never ceases to amaze me. You are far too humble. You should take more pride in your strategic acumen. Having an accurate perception of your own abilities is very important, especially knowing what happens when you attempt feats beyond them. I am sure you are aware that I am in the service of Lord Yuan Shao. He has of late come to be called the most powerful leader in the land. In the past, he has followed a typical path to power, achieving victories reliably through acquiring more resources than his enemies. But now, it's as if he is trying to become greater than the sum of his abilities. Perhaps he feels the urgent need to stand taller than his rivals. To pick fruit higher up the tree of war, he does not use a ladder, but has begun the construction of a tower of great height and dubious stability. As someone in his service, I find this situation most vexing. Certainly you can understand my misgivings. Yes. He has managed to use his family name to intimidate rivals and consolidate his victories.
but it cannot last much longer. A victory gained without wisdom and strength can be easily taken away. Because war is the great clash of human potential, and the ephemeral spark of that moment in history is what captures the hearts of men. I suppose I could. That's some advice I would never hear from my comrades. At any rate, speaking with you has lifted my spirits. It is always a pleasure, even if the subject matter is not. If, perchance, my ideal battlefield did exist somewhere in this world, I believe that it might be next to you. Would you welcome such an event? I am happy to hear it. When that day comes, please make a place for me closer to you. I can see that you mean what you say. But for now, let us keep the proper distance from each other, as servants of different masters. One day, on the battlefield of my dreams, we will stand together as allies. Until that day.
What a shame. Zhang Shu's forces have surrendered. You'll have to wait a while longer to show off your new garb on the battlefield. The difference in our forces is too great. Zhang Shu must have realized that they could never win. On the other hand, one must admire their quick judgment. They would have been a difficult adversary if we had ended up in battle. Right now, Zhang Shu should be on his way to see Cao Cao. We will receive more instructions soon.
Thank you again, Lord Cao Cao.
There is no need to thank me. In fact, I should be thanking you for your wisdom.
That is gracious of you to say.
While we have the chance, we wish to make a proposal. In honor of this agreement, what say we celebrate with a feast at our expense? Of course, it won't be as sophisticated as perhaps you're used to. Nevertheless, we wish to show you our goodwill.
Well, we could use some merriment. Will you also allow us officers to attend?
Regretfully, I do not think we could manage a gathering as large as that. The banquet will have to be for a select few only. Otherwise, Wan Castle's provisions would quickly run out. Besides, we don't want a repeat of the incident at Hongmeng. We simply wish for Lord Cao Cao to enjoy our finest wine.
That is enough, Jia Shu. But let me be upfront about the circumstances. Of course, not much time has passed since we were enemies. We will therefore send all our soldiers away from the castle to ensure the banquet passes without incident.
Very well. Guo Jia, I will accept their hospitality. There is much to discuss, and this would be a good opportunity for that.
But we cannot allow you to go alone, Lord Cao Cao. Take Lord Dian Wei and the others as an escort.
Very well, I will. The rest of you will need to remain outside the castle for a while.
There you are. Forget what I said earlier. You're about to fight your first battle as an officer of Cao Cao. Zhang Shu's surrender was a ruse. He sent all of his forces at Wan Castle to attack. We don't know if Cao Cao is safe, but he should still be in the castle. Although Dian Wei's group is guarding him, he was still reckless.
He must have thought that this was the only way to find out what Zhang Shu was up to.
What he's up to?
He may already have made peace with Liu Biao, and maybe Yuan Shu, and Liu Bei too. By heading deep into the enemy's territory, Lord Cao Cao would be able to quickly find out the truth of the matter for himself.
It'll be in vain if he pays for the knowledge with his life. I suppose he didn't expect Zhang Shu to be so bold.
Only he would know. Either way, this will not be a straightforward battle. Zhang Shu's forces may have further tricks up their sleeves. We'll need to remain on guard.
Hey, do you have a moment? It's nothing too serious. There's just something I'd like to say to you. Firstly, I want to thank you for your efforts in the battle with Louis Bu. If you hadn't been there, we'd have been in trouble. You have my gratitude, truly. I hope to repay the favor someday. Now you're making me blush. But it's nice to hear you feel that way. How can I put this? Your background is something of a mystery, right? Yet, my lord placed you at his side, regardless. He is nothing if not open-minded. But it's not like I'm trying to draw your story out of you, so you can relax. We're comrades now, regardless of our backgrounds. We've both risen to prominence thanks to Lord Cao Cao. So, how about it? Will you serve him alongside me? With you there, I'd have another person I can really count on. I'm sure of it. Of course not. Please keep an open mind and think it over. My lord has a vision, one that gives me hope for the future. I'm desperate to help make it a reality. Yet there are many who would stand in his way. And sometimes, we're the only ones in a position to stop them. I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm not trying to worry you or anything, but just keep this in mind when times get tough, okay? Anyway, enough serious talk. Let's go eat. To protect a man like Lord Cao Cao, one must keep their strength up. You should follow my example.
You're here again? You really are fond of Lord Eugene working you to the bone, aren't you?
Are you going to tell me that your support of Lord Cao Cao is based solely on a desire for limitless training under Lord Eugene?
There might actually be something in that. People are starting to hail Lord Eugene's training as the most severe in the land. Anyone with a taste for that kind of thing would do whatever they could for more, eh?
Easily. The training is intense, but survive it and you'll grow stronger and stronger. Which means we grow as soldiers, making it more likely we'll survive in battle.
No private conversations. I've told you more times than I can count to be in formation when the session starts. As punishment, you'll have an additional 1,000 practice swings before we start.
Are you serious? Forget the battlefield. We won't even survive this.
Don't talk back. It's only going to get us additional drills.
Back again. You'll receive no special treatment. You do understand that, right? I wonder how long you'll be able to keep that composure up. If you've forgotten the severity of my sessions, you'll soon remember. Time to commence the drills. Prepare yourselves. You remain as unafraid of me as ever. Despite how people usually end up after repeat sessions with me. Systematic order restricts individual freedom in order to make it possible to operate as a unit. And so, you can make assumptions regarding soldiers' responses. If anything, it's better that I be feared and detested. A drop in discipline results in distracted soldiers, so yes, I will accept their hatred if my training saves their lives. Soldiers are best poised for survival when order and discipline are sound and effective. That's what being a unit means. The reason I serve under Lord Cao Cao is because his beliefs closely align with my own. So, do not worry about me. This is my place. You too will be well served by allowing the hardships here to mold you.
Hey, you came as promised. It can be busy during war councils, but the rest of the time it's very quiet. Perfect for reading. Here, I have the text that you asked for last time. You have a good eye. I'm impressed. This is some fascinating stuff. I'm glad I found someone to study with. Next time we'll go and see my teacher together, I'd like to introduce you to him. I believe a broad knowledge base will be necessary in the future, and studying with others helps you see things from other perspectives. With our Lord on the cusp of rising to power and quelling the turmoil, he'll need people that can help him govern in times of peace. I think if we keep studying together, we can be of use to him. Besides that, all kinds of knowledge can have value on the battlefield. That goes for intuition too, which many say I excel in. Oh, you think so? I'm not just talking nonsense? Do you know what happens when intuition strikes? All your accumulated knowledge comes together and provides you with a solution. Which is all well and good. But what use is that if you don't have time to implement it? In moments like that, I always feel self-loathing. And then I keep looking back on what happened, trying to figure out what I should have done. But I've not let you speak at all. I'm sorry. Thank you. Hearing that you're interested pleases me to no end. So, I should tell you, to be honest, I really just want to be close to you. All these things I've been saying are just pretext for that. Having you alongside me on the battlefield doesn't suffice. I want us to be like partners, striving in our studies together. Maybe this is just wishful thinking, but I have a feeling that things are going to go our way.
Until Lord Cao Cao has escaped, I will not fall even as life leaves my body. Adian Wei shall show what a true warrior is made of.
I will live and make good on my escape.
Dian Wei, your sacrifice shall not be in vain. This I swear.
In the event of an emergency, we are to meet at the Eastern Gate. Lord Cao Cao and Lord Dian Wei are also aware of this.
The enemy officer.
While our forces subdue the enemy, we shall move to offer aid.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
We can move swiftly and adapt to any scenario.
Time to advance!
Not
fight our way through these numbers.
Father, I will draw the enemy's attention. Find an unguarded one and escape through there. Take the ball.
Thank you.
All my might.
The plan went off without a hitch. Now may we gnash at Cao Cao's unguarded throat.
Damn it. This rain of arrows prevents both progress and retreat.
The eastern battlefield is shifting. It seems
The enemy officer
that Lord
has been
Cao Cao is
defeated.
safe. Let's go. Now, let us do what we can. Observe the situation and quash any threats to Lord Cao Cao.
Time to advance. Now, time to act. Got this. Let's get serious. Got this.
How many was that? I've lost count already.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
A little rash to be charging in alone for the sake of valor. Guess you want to die. All All my might.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Forces from outside the castle. He's fighting to keep me alive. As such, I must survive.
Good. That's one threat off the table. Let us hurry after Lord Cao Cao and continue providing backup.
Take that. This amount of resistance was to be expected. Now it's about time for the next step.
The enemy officer
We are the
has
army
been
of Liu
defeated.
Biao, governor of Jing.
Believe this. The enemy officer
Fell the
has been
villainous Cao
defeated.
Cao. All my might. Is that it?
Zhang Xiu and Liu Biao have joined forces, as we suspected. This will not end so easily.
The enemy's movements indicate that Cao Cao must be fleeing west. We shall follow in his tracks.
One man do all this? Like possessed by a demon!
Can't believe this. The enemy officer has been defeated.
Let's go! I use my strength to enforce my lord's will. I will not fail him. Not ever!
We must take down the foes to the rear and save Cao Cao. This will be more difficult than I'd wagered.
Cao Cao's cohorts and guards are formidable. Be that as it may, this is still within expectations. It's about time for the next step.
Lord Jiangsu bade us to take over the enemy bases. Let us go! We'll show them the might of Liu Biao's forces!
Begin advancing!
Enemy reinforcements are heading for our base. We will be undone if they gain a foothold. We must stop them.
Time to advance!
So this is the end for me. Uncle, I hope
The
you
enemy
shall
officer
remain safe.
has been defeated.
All right. New position catapult.
This territory
Those
is
men are
ours.
in for.
Reinforcements from outside the castle. He's fighting to keep me alive. As such, I must survive.
Good. That's one threat off the table. Let us hurry after Lord Cao Cao and continue providing backup.
This amount of resistance was to be expected. Now then, it is about time for the next step.
We are the army of Liu Biao, governor of Jing.
The enemy officer
We have come to
has been
fell the
defeated.
villainous Cao Cao.
Take that.
Zhang Xu and Liu Biao have joined forces, as we'd suspected. This will not end so easily.
The enemy's movements indicate that Cao Cao must be fleeing west. We shall follow in his tracks.
One man do all this? Like he's possessed by a demon. I use my strength to enforce my Lord's will. I will not fail. Not ever!
We must
enemy
take down the
officer
foes to the rear and
has been
save
defeated.
Cao Cao. This will be more difficult than I'd wagered.
Cao Cao's cohorts and guards are formidable. Be that as it may, this is still within expectations. Time for the next step.
Take that!
Lord Zhang Xu,
The enemy officer
over the enemy
has
base.
been defeated.
Let us go. We'll show them the might of Liu Biao's forces.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Enemy
The
reinforcements
enemy officer
are heading
has been
to our
defeated.
base. We will be undone if they gain a foothold. We must stop them.
Time to advance.
So this is the end for me. Uncle, I hope you shall remain safe.
Blast! They unleashed trick after nasty trick upon us.
Given the situation, Lord Cao Cao should be able to head westward, capture the northwest stronghold, and raise ladders on the ramparts.
The enemy officer
Time to
has been
advance.
defeated.
What's going on? Failed to bring down one man with these numbers. I can't.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
You lack my resolve. Perhaps
This territory is ours.
nothing more than to see Lord Cao Cao's glorious kingdom. I'll give everything I have to make that happen.
The ladders are ready? Then, let us open up a path for Lord Cao Cao.
Can't believe this.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Let's go.
Looking rough.
Let's go.
Perhaps we can escape the castle from here.
Let's go. Father, I fear I cannot stay with you to the end.
So please hear. There's no future for us. After him! Do not let him escape!
Finished nothing now.
Begin advancing! You're unharmed, right?
So.
You can walk that far. I suppose you're fine. We've rendezvoused with Cao Cao. We will now head south to put some distance between us and this battle.
All my might.
You won't escape, Cao Cao. Your destiny ends here.
The enemy officer.
Zhang Shu,
you have great talent. It truly is a shame you stand against me. Still, I will allow no one to stand in the way of my destiny.
You appear when you're most needed. That is a talent in itself.
Encountering me is the worst thing that could have happened to you.
It shouldn't have been like this.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Must fall back.
Cao Cao still lives. This route, I won't be able to show my face to Lord Liu Biao.
Take that! Tough.
Liu Biao's reinforcements are quite sizable. Taking them down would deal a solid blow to him. Lord Cao Cao has sacrificed much for this outcome.
That did not go as planned. I must try again later.
We've got him now! All units, attack! How much of a monster he is! These numbers, surely! Bring it on! I'll take you all on at once!
Looking rough. Let's go. Another victim has fallen before me.
Now, all my might.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Sure know how to fight. Let's go. Fantastic display. You should be proud of what you've accomplished.
Lament or stop moving forward, nor will I dwell on the past. That is the path to domination.
Go on ahead, my lord. And don't look back, no matter what.
Very well. I'm counting on you. Dian Wei.
Dian Wei. I knew this might happen, but it is devastating all the same.
For not only Dian Wei, but even the young lord and his men to have perished, our losses this time have been severe.
But we have subjugated Jiangsu and gained a foothold in Jing province. Though the price we have paid is great, what we have gained is equally significant.
Cao Cao, you... Dian Wei was a warrior like no other, and your own son. Both of them have given their lives for you.
What of it? Do you remember what I said when my father died? We cannot allow anger or grief to get in the way of our progress. That is our conviction.
My lord.
To conquer a world in chaos, one must sacrifice lives as well as take them. If we dwell on each loss, we would slow to a standstill. We must focus on our vision for the future of the realm. Not even my own life is too precious to be lost in pursuit of our goal. That is how we repay the loss of life.
All that's left is to decide their fate. What do you think, Cao Cao?
Not executing them would be sure to anger those who served Dian Wei and your son.
Shichu, what do you think?
Huh? Me? Well, there's no way I'd forgive Dian Wei's killers. Then again, he had great respect for how you never let emotions cloud your judgment. I fought against you in Yu province and killed many of your troops. But still, you said that you needed my skills and let me live.
I understand. These men killed my most trusted retainer and drove me to the brink of defeat and death. There is no doubting their abilities. I will allow them to serve my cause.
So, you will show us mercy?
Mercy to you? No. I simply think it would be a waste not to utilize your talents. You must continue to be of use to me. Otherwise, I will dispose of you. That is all.
Truly impressive.